OGLEE in the house once again. Thank goodness. So as I've always said, when I do these videos, in general, I do them for posterity. And yesterday, January 6, 2021, was a day to be on record.
This was a fraudulent election.
Now, the Senate was supposed to confirm President-elect Joe Biden, get everything settled and confirm him in terms of the electoral votes. And as you know, President Trump thinks they stole the election from him. So we had a bunch of people at the Capitol. A bunch of people, Trump supporters. Take a look at this. It was a conservative group of people, President Trump supporters. And so they came to the Capitol and literally acted a damn fool. I mean, barged their way into the place. It was crazy. It was something that was really unheard of or unseen, they said, since like the 1800s. A lot of black people couldn't understand just how these people, these white people, could come up to our nation's capital and literally barge their way in, unmolested. Unbelievable, because we know that the second black people confront police, that's what would have happened if it were anybody else other than white people. What I thought was interesting, see, because most of the time when you have protests, most of the time it's the young people who are a part of that, right? And most of your older people, even if they support it, they're usually like in the background. But if you look at these supporters, these are, first of all, by and large, white men. And what I was surprised of is how many of the white men tended to be older, gray-bearded type of dudes. My thinking has to say, if I'm going to be the devil's advocate, that this is really conservative, and a lot of it is about race. In other words, when you look at a Kamala Harris, right? We don't want that nigger as our president. That's what they're fighting against. Very conservative people. This guy here, he breaks into Nancy Pelosi's office, and look at him. He said, "This is my house." He took over the place. I just found the whole thing almost unbelievable, but it was very believable. White people never fail to amaze me with some of the audacity that they have. I was born and raised in America, but I only wish I had that same type of passion that I could give to any issue on the strength of, hey, I'm a citizen, I got my constitutional rights. And I just never was able to develop that as a black person in America. I always felt like if I went somewhere and exercised my individual rights, my freedoms, that would be my ass. No way that black people could have marched up those stairs to that Capitol, ripped the barricades down, and barged their United States Capitol unmolested. There would have been blood all on the steps of that Capitol. These type of incidents, more than anything, they show the racial divide in this country, and they show the white privilege. As a matter of fact, you can see from this picture how well fortified they were when we were talking about Black Lives Matter, when we were talking about Black Lives Matter protesting at the Capitol. All of a sudden yesterday, no security hardly, and no white folk were able to barge in. This thing was set up to make a point Because if you notice, look at these guys here. They are protesters occupying the Capitol. But look at this guard over here. I really wonder what all, happened in terms of coordination of this, because it obviously was well organized. It don't look like too many niggas was invited. The way this thing played out, I mean, it was absolutely crazy. You had the lawmakers in the chamber, man, ducking behind seats. And look at this lady right here. 4 other people died, they just said, from medical conditions. So several people, I think, had like heart attacks or whatever. Because look at this lady right here. So she's some member of Congress, apparently, if she's in the chamber. This is crazy. White people showed their ass on January 6, 2021.
And they shot him in the face.
I don't know, when you think about it, what they thought they would accomplish. Everybody that was involved, in the decision-making process had already spoken, basically said, hey, your lawsuits ain't worth shit. Whatever you bucking, it ain't worth shit, man. And even many of your Republican colleagues were saying, hey, get this thing up, man. It's over. Trump pretty much took it upon himself.
It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country.
I got a gang with me, just like a gang leader, right? He was like, yo, I got a gang with me, and I'll turn these motherfuckers loose. And so it was like he was trying to show people that, hey, yo, I got supporters behind me that will go as far as burning the motherfucking Capitol down. Huh? This is the audacity that white people have. This was seen around the world, and what it shows is America is slowly but surely becoming unraveled at the seams. One person was killed, literally. 3 others or 4 others died. These white men came in, broke down barricades, stormed the nation's capital, and then trashed the place. Most people totally thought that it was inappropriate. It was assault on the Capitol. And to have your lawmakers in the chamber all on the floor and shit, have people at the door blocking the chamber with guns. This is crazy. It's great to be in a place, man, where you have rights and you actually feel like, man, I'm down to do whatever to exercise those rights. Me as a black person, I'm like, yeah, I got rights. But if I take my black ass to that Capitol and start protesting, shit, I'll be dead. I was talking to a guy, or not talking to him, but he was posting on Facebook, a white guy. And he was saying, man, this is much to do about nothing. And what that allows me to see is that, first of all, that's his white privilege that he's exercising when you think about it. And so just to hear him say that, lets me know that the way that he's perceiving things is totally different from the way a lot of other people are perceiving it. What President Trump did is no different than somebody who's a gang leader from the, Crips, the Bloods, the Mafia, or whatever. He did the same exact thing.
We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore, and that's what this is all about. We will stop the steal. Stop the steal. We won this election, and we won it by a landslide. This was not a close election. I've been in 2 elections. I won them both, and the second one, I won much bigger than the first, okay? Almost 75 million people voted for our campaign, the most of any incumbent president by far in the history of our country. 12 million more people than 4 years ago. I was told if I went from 63 million, which we had 4 years ago, to 66 million, there was no chance of losing. Well, we didn't go to 66. We went to 75 million, and they say we lost. We didn't lose.
This is the president who incited this.
That election, our election, was over at 10 o'clock in the evening. We're leading Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia, by hundreds of thousands of votes. And then late in the evening or early in the morning, boom, these explosions of bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
This is the president who incited this.
We want to be so respectful of everybody, including bad people. And Mike Pence is going to have to come through for us. And if he doesn't, that will be a sad day for our country.
This is the president who incited this.
We have come to demand that Congress do the right thing. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to make your voices heard today. Today we will see whether Republicans stand strong for integrity of our elections, but whether or not they stand strong for our country.
I don't think that we should totally blame the president as much as we should blame the dumb motherfuckers who listened to him. What they thought was that they had a pass to do whatever they wanted, given that that white man had told them they could. This thing was so organized by these white people. You saw that white man sitting at Pelosi's desk, right? Look at him. Now, imagine if a brother did make it that far. He damn sure ain't gonna be sitting there smiling. Shit, brother would have been under the desk if he did make it that far, knowing at any minute now, boy, these motherfuckers getting ready to come in here and charge firing on me. Motherfuckers gonna kill me. One of the things that I say is that you reap what you sow. And after we had President Obama, all of these white people, Democrats as well as Republicans, or a large majority of them anyway, did what? Voted for that orange man, President Trump, to be in office. Because that was their response to the presidency of Obama. Kamala Harris is going to be the next president of the United States because Joe Biden, with all due respect, is looking very frail. And so after a year or so, we got us the first black female president. And that's another thing that's bothering a lot of people because they're seeing now where the power is. That black lady is surpassing white ladies. Kamala Harris is going to be the next president. These next 2 years are going to be so liberal that they won't be able to stand it. The Democrats control the Senate. The Democrats control the House. The vice president is the president of the Senate. So she will be able to cast the deciding vote if they are deadlocked 50-50 in the Senate. That's basically the Senate being controlled by Democrats. You got the House, you got the Senate, you got the presidency, all Democratic. This is going to be, major stimulus time, major taxes on people who got a bunch of money, start regulating a whole bunch of shit. I hope they learned the Tea Party. So these people have to do what they do real quick in 2 years because they know the people are pissed. They think that the election was stolen from them. President Trump has now said that he's going to make it a peaceful transition. But it's still going to be interesting because I think that his supporters are still very upset about the election. It's going to be the best of times and the worst of times.
You have to go home now. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. We have to have peace. There's never been a time like where this. They could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. Go home and go home in peace. Thank you all.
Anywho, anyway, this is OG Lee, and I'll see you again soon.